MK11 announced that the competitive rule set. So before, what they were doing in the beta and what they had before is like everybody could edit characters and loadouts and put on whatever special moves they want or whatever, right? They sort of had a similar thing in Injustice with gear moves. Recently, they announced in like one of the articles that their plan for competitive mode is to have 2 variations per character, I believe, right? 2 different loadouts per character that you can select for tournament play that they've like put together and thought about as like building the character, right? 2 or more, they said. Okay, I thought it was just 2, but maybe it's 2 or more. So essentially, right, what they're saying is there's like every character has base moves. In case you guys don't know, every character has base moves in MK or in Injustice or like whatever the variation system they did for whatever. So there's like usually 3 or 4 moves that they have no matter what, and then there's variation moves which are like they either enhance the base moves that they have or they're entirely separate special moves. So, you know, like a character like Cabal has his Nomad Dash, and he has like a projectile of some kind, and he has like whatever else, like one hook move or something. And those are like the base moves, for example. Then it's like, okay, well, you can change his projectile to be able to throw it like in the air. And that's like one of the things you can change. You can change it so his hook has a low hook instead of just like the mid hook that you have. But, you know, instead of the mid hook being safe, but not leading to, you know, it's not a low, so it's not a mix-up. The low hook lets you mix people up if you have strings that have overheads in them or whatever, right? This variation of Cabal has like better zoning, and this variation has better whatever. So instead of letting people customize it, they are building variations that are preset. And MKX had preset variations, right? They didn't have like customization that you see now. And in Injustice, there was gear moves that could add on to the characters, and those weren't in tournament. They just had the standard version of the character. So I think a lot of people expected in Mortal Kombat 11 to be able to pick the customizations and whatever special moves they want out of the list or whatever. And NRS essentially said, yeah, our plan for competitive mode is to have a few built variations, like 2 or more variations ready to go so that you can select it for your character. And it's like built on, you know, what makes sense for the balance and design of the game. And I think it's probably like that because they don't want to have to balance all billion gear moves or whatever. Not gear moves, but loadouts that are out there and all that kind of stuff, right? But I think everybody, including me, was looking forward to seeing like the way people played in tournament with all the custom variations and stuff like that. So I'm kind of sad about it. I think most of the competitive players are kind of sad that you can't pick the actual customization that you want. But at the same time, I don't know how that would work in tournament because it's probably really hard to like pick all the different loadouts. Plus, you'd have to probably blind select the loadouts. You know what I mean? Because like what happens when you select your loadouts and then they pick something and then you want to go back and change some shit? So that's one thing that you have to think about also is like, okay, how would we do this with blind select? You have to tell the judge like, hey, I'm going to pick low saw, low hook, and also Nomad Dash upgrade number 7. And then the other guy's like, okay, I'm going to pick mid dash punch for Jax, ground pound enhanced that gives me like my heated up fist, and I'm gonna pick this 112-211 string that's enhanced. And the guy's like, okay, that's the blind pick. So I could see why people would think that it's like, you know, a little convoluted. I would love though for it to have the custom variations because it would be great, right? Anyway, the point that I was bringing up here is that I think Samurai Showdown looks fine and I'm gonna play it, okay? Quit being mad at me, you nerds.